Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 411.
Hello, this is the 411. So, what do you want to talk about?
What's up to our listeners out there? Once again, welcome to the 411, a hotline you know you need. I'm your host, Chara, and thank you so much for joining in the call where we get to talk about anything and everything, getting deep into our thoughts about life, for us to just have fun, get encouraged, and hopefully learn something from each other in order for us to keep surviving in this crazy world we live in. And I hope everyone is doing great. Everyone has a great breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever time you're listening to this. Okay, so for our first episode, a start to Adulting 101 is I'm going to share to you guys things that I learned at 20 while being locked up in my room because of Miss Corona. Okay, so we're going to get a little emotional, sentimental, if you know what I mean, because I'm actually 20 years old. I just turned 20 years old this year, and can I just say I have learned a lot just being here in my room, staying in, and you know that mental, emotional growth that I just experienced that I just really wanted to share to you guys if you're like 18, 19, because I'm telling you, 20 is a different age to be in compared to 18 and 19, because at first you're not going to feel that you're an adult, even though 18 years old, here in the Philippines, you're legally an adult. Sometimes you're just not gonna feel it. Sometimes you feel like you're in the peak of you being a teenager, but you're not. You're like an adult now. And it's really mind-opening. Mind-opening? It's really eye-opening. When you turn 20, you start to feel the emotional change, the maturity. Okay, so first up, for one of the things that I have learned when I turned 20 is the start will always be the hardest. Now, what I mean by start is like maybe starting a business. It can be starting a new hobby, starting to work out, and starting to heal. It's always going to be the start that is brutal, going to be hard because we're going to change. You know, the change in the beginning is just always the hardest. The start will always sting because you're not used to these type of things, and yet we're forced to do it. If you know what I mean. For example, like working out, we always complain at the start because our bodies are not used to it. But you know, when we get to the middle, when our bodies get used to it and that we see the change, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be everything is going to be worth it in the end. And I also want to share this to you guys. I learned this because with a separation when it comes to a group of people, like because we have this opportunity and that they have another opportunity, and it's we have to part ways, but you know, the relationship is still there. There's nothing negative about parting ways, but you know, it's hard because you're not going to always see that person. You're not going to always be with them, not unlike what you were used to back then. That's when I started to realize now, oh, okay, this is hard. But when you get to the middle, when you finally find your momentum, when you finally find that rhythm that you're seeking for, it's going to be worthwhile in the end. That's why, another example, if ever you're going to work out, the start will always be the hardest. Like, keep that in mind, so that even though that you keep complaining, the most important thing is that you don't stop, because once our physical body get the hang of it, it's going to be worth it, losing that extra pound, feeling healthy, the fact that when you walk up the stairs you don't feel tired that much anymore. So yeah, just always keep in mind that the start is always the hardest, but when we finally get our momentum, you know, it's really worth it. Okay. I hope that you get something from that, because woo, it's getting emotional here. It's getting sentimental, if you know what I mean. And we're just in the one part. Okay, so number 2 that I have learned is not every day is a good day and not every day is a bad day. Now, I actually got this from my classmate, Amelia. If you're listening, hi there. We were doing this podcast for our project, and while we were having this Zoom call, I was actually at that time, I was burnt out. I was like emotionally drained from, experiencing, my personal life. I was drained with my personal life, with my studies as well. And then she started to just encourage us. She told us that it's okay, because not every day is going to be a good day, but the good news is not every day is a bad day as well. So she told me that, and that quote, that encouragement that she told me, it just kept me going. I don't know why, but I really like the impact, because it just reminded me that it's okay to not be always productive in a day. It's okay to sleep in. It's okay if you have a low score. It's okay, because these things really happen. In reality, not every day you're at like the peak, or you're not every day you're at the top of the world, but so sometimes you're going to feel like you hit rock bottom, but the only way for you to get out of the only way for you to get out of the rock bottom is like the way up. So yeah, just always remember that you don't every day is not supposed to be like, oh, it wasn't a fun day yesterday, I can't believe this. You don't have to like panic if things doesn't go your way just that day, because when you wake up, it's going to be a new day again. Okay. So that's yeah, okay. I don't know how to I just really hope that you guys are getting something from this, because of these things, I was able to recharge and have a new mindset, somewhere, having that genuine happiness. Okay, next is school isn't everything. Now, I learned this, like, I'm actually one of those people that literally grinds at school. Like, every schoolwork, I do this. I'm like that extra student who, like, the teachers ask for something and I'm going to give them more, if you know what I mean. Not to brag or anything, but yeah, that's how my high school life was. I was on a roll, you know what I mean? Like, I was like one of those students who really aim or just want to have an award. And then when at the age and I was in grade 10, I started to realize what I really wanted to do. And that thing that I really wanted to do, I'm not going to say it, that thing that I really wanted to do, like, doesn't have to be in school, or I don't have to experience it after school. That's why I realized that, not everything school doesn't determine your future or anything. That's when I learned that school isn't everything, because back then, like, for me, school was everything. School would determine what job you're going to take. School would determine what our grades, what our jobs gonna be like, if ever, if we're going to be successful. That was my mindset. That was my mindset back then. And so I learned that not everything is school, it's just, what's the school is also not important, but what you do with that education is important. And you know what, the most important thing is that um what you what you're doing in the future is what you love, because that will really bring you genuine happiness. And studies actually show, like I've learned this at our communication theories, studies actually show that what humans really want, or what humans really seek for, is happiness and belongingness. Yeah, and we can always see that, we always want to be happy. It's already like reflecting, or like we always manifest that, if so yeah, school isn't everything. And but if because not everyone is like, what? I don't know what I'm talking about. Wait, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. School isn't, or sometimes school isn't for everybody. Okay. School isn't for everybody. Some people experience that application and skills and getting more experience is what they need for their future goals. So yeah, school isn't everything, but it doesn't mean you have to flunk school just because you heard me say it. It really depends on you, because college or school will always be there, but sometimes opportunities only come once. So if you're going to, like, if I were you, if I were me, what? So if I were you, like, choosing between like an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity between school, I would choose that lifetime opportunity, because yeah, once again, school will always be there, college will always be there, but the opportunity sometimes really just comes once in a lifetime. So yeah. Okay, so next up is, sometimes the people you started with won't be the ones you continue life with. Oh my gosh, this is actually one of the major things that I have learned. Something very emotional happened to me this the start of the year. I was cut off by my best friend, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay for me. And then at my birthday, or I'm not sure when, just at the middle of the year, I decided to like get out of the circle of friends that I used to be with when I was in junior high school. I don't know. It just after being cut off by my best friend, I just decided that I really needed a breather from everything. So yeah, then when I was in this like transition, or like trying to heal from the pain, because it was just so out of the blue, I contacted a few of my friends that we don't see much of each other. So I contact them. Then we meet, we ate, and then I opened up to them. It's actually so funny because I was literally crying in Volante. If you don't know Volante, it's like an Italian restaurant here in Baguio. I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out in the restaurant, and they were just comforting me. They were also shocked from what happened, but yeah, like I said, from the first thing that I've learned is the start will always be the hardest. So the start of healing was the hardest for me. And then that's when I started to realize that sometimes the people you started with won't be the ones you continue life with, because my friends at junior high, the friends that I have or had in junior high, I really thought that they're the ones, I really thought that they were the ones that are going to be with me as I graduate college, as I have have a like a child, a husband, if you know what I mean, those types of things that you're always going to be with them, but in reality you're not always going to be with them because they have different paths as you, they have different goals as you, and so sometimes it leads to that parting ways, but and sometimes parting relationships. That's why I remember my mother told me that true friends are the ones that even though you don't have communication with, they're, and then when you see them again for the first time, it's like nothing changed. So that was the case for me for my other friends. When I let go of my junior high school friends, my other junior high school friends that I never thought that would actually be with me, or I never actually imagined that they would stay longer, were the ones who I'm with now, this time that I'm now 20, and hoping that things will be all right, that they're going to, that I'm going to stick by them, that they're going to stick by with me as we get older. But when it comes to like having when you get canceled by your friends, it's okay. It's okay because there's a reason for everything. God has a plan for you and for them. And, sometimes maybe, and also you don't have to like be angry at them if they cancel you. Don't be angry at them, please. Just cherish the memories that you have with them, because I know that my best friend and I have these memories that are genuine, so I still cherish them. Her image never changed in my head when she decided to part ways with me. Yeah, her image never changed in my head. I still love her and hope for the best for her. It just, again, the start just always hurts. The start of healing always hurts. But, I'm getting there. Not quite there yet, but I'm in the process, and I'm still thankful. Still be thankful. It's not the end of the world. Losing friends are normal, but remember that when you lose someone, you get someone. Period. Okay, next is the last thing you should lose is your family. Now, actually, my aunt told me this, that the last thing that I should lose, that we all should lose, is the family. Because when I learned this, or I just like really understood this, or like took hold of it at my 20, when I don't have my friends anymore, maybe because I relied more of the support at to my friends instead of my family. And actually that time when I was so close with my friends, I wasn't with good conditions with my cousin, whom I was so close with when we were back when we were young. We were so close back then, but then suddenly, me having new friends and her having new friends, is just like, we prioritize our friends more than each other. And so things got awkward between us. But ever since this quarantine, ever since, we got this opportunity to spend more time with our family, things got better between us. We learned, and we said sorry to each other. Like after the Sunday preaching about friendship and about losing friendship, it's like not a coincidence that everything just lined up together on what we were going through, what everyone in our family was going through, and it just lined up. And then after that church service, we started to talk. She said sorry to me first, and then I was just shocked when she said sorry to me first, because I thought that I was the one who owe her an apology, but it turns out we owe each other one. And yeah, ever since that day, ever since that Sunday service, we got along, rebuilding our like cousinship, if that's a word, rebuilding our relationship, because having a close cousin is so different from having a best friend, because, blood is thicker than water. So yeah, that's when I learned that, family, that family is really important. And family is just, the family is always going to be there for you, no matter how imperfect you are, no matter how many times that you disappoint them, how many times that you made them mad or angry, they're always going to be there with you. So yeah, the last thing you could lose is your family. Okay, so another major thing that I have learned during being locked up in my room because of Miss Corona is that God is everything. Now, after everything that has happened to me, being cut off with my, letting go of my old friends, having burnout in studies, having no motivation at all, during those dark times, I just really started to question everything. Like, wow, am I really that toxic of a friend? I'm not worthy to be anyone's friend. I doubted myself. I bashed myself that, yeah, I'm that toxic person, that I'm that mean girl. I'm that girl, the bully, in school. Maybe I was, I just these things, these questions, this negative thoughts and emotion just kept spiraling around. And I never have like peace of mind. Every time that the room keeps quiet, I just cry all of a sudden because I don't know what's wrong with me and how will I fix myself? How will I put myself back together? And it actually led me of thinking that I shouldn't have any more friends because I might treat them the same as I treated my best friend. And maybe that's the reason why she decided to part ways with me. So yeah, I started doubting myself, my self-worth. I kept blaming myself because I really don't like to blame other people. So who else should I blame? Myself. So yeah, it just led me into that dark hole, and I'm slowly getting out, thank God. Because God is everything. Because during that time, I don't have anyone to open up to, because I just started to, just shut my mouth, just keep everything to myself. I'm an extroverted person, but during that time, I really just decided that no, I'm just going to like shut up. Maybe me being too emotional, being too self-centered, probably is the reason why things got to this way, or the reason why things happened because I'm a talkative person. Things got out of my mouth, and I hurt people. That's what I thought. So I decided not to tell my friends, or, even though they kept telling me like, it's okay, but sometimes I can see in their expression, that they might be tired of like hearing me crying, my emotional like pain and stuff like that. They might, like they're tired of my face, seeing my face, hearing and talking about my emotions and what I'm feeling. They might be like tired of that, but having those dark times really just gives you that negative mindset, because I knew, and I just know that my friends aren't like that it's okay for them, for me to just open up, that it's okay for them, that they're really good listeners. My friends now are really good listeners, and I thank them for that. If they're listening, hi there. You know who you are. So yeah, it's just, just having all of those things happen just like in this year, like at my 20s, just having that moment, just really led me into a negative mindset. And so I had nothing else to do but to pray. And I did pray. I kept praying, and every time that I feel sad, I just like talk to the Lord, like, just looking up my ceiling and say that, like, Lord, why is this happening to me? Like, comfort me. I want rest. I want peace. And that's when I just like started to really to just have that realization that anybody can leave you, anybody, even your family, your family and friends, they might leave you, and sometimes they might, have like being impatient and try sometimes not understand you, but the only person that can truly understand you is the one who made you, and that is God. He is going to listen, and he is willing to listen. Just give everything to him, just cry out everything to him, because like that's like, a testimony of mine, that when I just cry it out to him, I just know that he will give me that peace, that he will give me that ease from my anxiety, from that doubt, and I know that, he'll be able to help me, because sometimes when you open up to your friends or your family, one of the things that they're really good at helping is, just listening. That's why it's really good when people like open up things to you, just listen to them. It's a really great help. But you know what, when it comes to our creator, to God, the King of all kings and the Lord of all lords, he's going to not just listen to you, but he's going to literally help you, and just help you in a way to like give you a blessing, to like, again, what I said, cast away your anxieties, and like that, as long as you believe, you will receive. Yes. Okay, so once again, God is everything. And actually, I'm going to say this in Tagalog, kasi it's like it's a different feel, having, it's much more like having that like strong meaning to it. When I say it in Tagalog, is si Lord lang malakas, okay? So that's in Tagalog, in short, God is the only one stronger, or just like having it all in general, God is everything. So yeah, so I guess that's all we have time for our podcast, for our sharing the things that I learned at 20 while being locked up in my room because of Miss Corona. So let's have like, a quick refresher. So at first, the start will always be the hardest. Another is not everything is a good day, and not every day is a bad day. School isn't everything. Sometimes the people you started with won't be the ones you continue life with, and that's okay. Next is what do you call it? The last thing that you should lose is your family. So yeah, you should prioritize them. And next is God is everything, and so you are blessed if you have a relationship with him. And yeah, go start a relationship with him. Because he's literally life, and I love it. So yeah, that's it for our podcast. I really hope that you guys learn something, and that you just get have gotten encouragement, as we continue living our lives. So yeah. So in conclusion, growing up sucks, but we have to do it. We just have to get through these things. We just have to go through these things in order to be stronger, in order to be more mature, in order to really get our life together when we finally graduate in school, or if we finally are in the point of our life where we really feel like we've grown up. So yeah, we have a few minutes actually. So, what else do we want to talk about? Um, Before we officially end our episode 1 for our podcast today, it's just let's just clap for ourselves. Let's just give a round of applause to ourselves. If you're whatever age you're in, it doesn't have to be that you're 20, but let's just give ourselves a pat on the back or a clap for ourselves. Yeah. I'm actually holding the mic, so I have to just put it back on the table for a second. So thank you so much for joining in the call. Once again, I'm your host, Chara, and see you on the next episode of the 411. Hope that you keep listening. Dial the number because you need this.
Hello, this is the 411. So what do you want to talk about?